those big mistakes early on. They felt like they did get some opportunities in that first match, didn't convert. We haven't seen a ton of that here in this, but maybe some things open up in the second half.
Well, the goalpost saved them on one.
Right.
They made some key blocks, Northern Illinois did, to stop some chances by Western Michigan. So, yeah, they're hanging in there. They've got some quality. They could create something, but they do need to raise it a little bit, because the way it's been going with as much possession as Western Michigan has had and as much chances in time they put balls into Northern Illinois' box, it looks like it's a matter of time. But, you know, Western Michigan, maybe it's just one of those days, too. They can't put it away.
And this Northern group, they have some holdovers from that NCAA tournament team from 2 years ago. That's a group that sent a couple of guys to the MLS, had some really good players. They still keep in touch quite a bit. They were communicating with Coach Swan and wishing him best of luck in the semis this week. But that, you talked about that experience for that remaining group. That matters,
of
right?
Course
to
it does.
To play in those big games.
They've been in games like this, and they know how to fight their way out of situations. And right now they're in a bit of a situation, but you can't tell from the scoreboard. They're right in it, 0-0.
Speaking of competing in high leverage situations, we talked earlier about the Broncos and all they've been through over the last couple of years and the amount of success that they've had, and they'll come out to start the second half here in Kalamazoo. We touched on the weather in game one. We haven't done as much here in game two, but now, you know,
well, the wind has died down
quite a bit.
I think the temperatures come up slightly.
Come up a little bit.
But actually, it's almost perfect conditions for the players. It's nice and cool. They can run all day, and the ground is just a little bit soft. It's perfect.
I think you used the term balmy, maybe a little hyperbolic, but for early November in Michigan, not, right?
Balmy? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, compared to what it was like at 8 o'clock this morning. Yeah. Looking for Kevin Kelly as the target with a long ball out of the back, but he couldn't get on the end of it.
And the Broncos pressing forward already to begin the second half. They'll have a deep throw in the final third. Perkins gets it into Fisher. Sharp, that big frame, gets it back to Perkins. Trying to center, looking for Singh, overshoots him.
Yeah, Perkins had the acceleration there to get into the space, but then the ball he struck was not accurate.
Robinson looking for Sharp, but a pair of Huskies there first. And the front is Sharp, but cleared out at the last moment by Banker.
Sharp used his body well there to hold off the defender and swivel and make something happen when it didn't look like there was space to do that.
Now Perkins will play it back, but good pursuit by Kevin Kelly to take it away. Drozic looking forward, but too far, and Brandt comes out to grab it.
You might see a bit more of that from Northern Illinois. Just put it into Western Michigan's end and see what happens, because they did spend too much time with the ball in their own end. Northern Illinois did, and that's going to break down eventually.
We got Patrick Coleman into the match for the Huskies. Was the closest Husky on that direct attempt. Skips over everyone's head, travels back near the goal line, and just using that strength to let it come out. They tried to let it trickle past the goal line. It didn't, but NIU able to clear it anyway. And let's see if they can get something the other way. I think, nope, I thought Thomas might have been
He could have been
offsides,
half a step
yeah.
offside, but no flag went
No
up.
flag. I think Shannon's asking for the same thing. Singh held up for the moment, comes away with it, finds Cookland after a deflection.
Play on.
Upwards for Suleimani,
Singh got dumped.
who leaves it for Robinson, crosses toward the middle, and a bit too much on that one. Clears to the other side for Perkins, who can't chase it down.
That was a good cross in only one sense. It wasn't to the goalkeeper. He did keep it away from the keeper, but he kept it away from everyone else as well.
And it's one. Here's James. James is going to fire, and that one's well off the mark.
Yeah, he's frustrated. So is Dylan Singh next to him. Yeah, that frustration is starting to build. I'll tell you what, Noah James, he's had a pretty good match in terms of how many times he's gotten himself into the open and helped create space for Dylan Singh as well as Charlie Sharp.
Does have 4 points this year, a goal, 2 assists.
Yeah, Sharp won that nicely.
Cookland has it deflected by Drozic. Suleimani tries to pivot toward the middle, but instead cleared out. Shannon gets a head on it.
Yeah,
finds Robinson.
Nicely done.
Robinson on the ground with the right to Sharp. Sharp trying to turn the corner, leaves for Robinson. That's deflected, I believe, by Banker. And a deep throw in coming up for Western Michigan.
You know, Charlie Sharp is pretty crafty with his back to the goal. I mean, he has a good ability to hold a defender and make a nice turn in a tight space. You don't always expect that from, big, tall guys like that. They're usually more brute force and just winning head balls and so forth. But he's got some finesse in tight spaces.
I wanted to take some time to reflect on how far we've come.
Singh toward the middle. Banker's there first at the feet of Robinson. Brings it up, a chance to cross, and nearly trickles away
in our union family
from Rochek, but on a short hop able to gather
Yesterday, 270 workers at Grupo Antolin in Michigan voted
Northern Illinois going for that quick long ball, just hoping for a breakdown at the back by Western Michigan, but it wasn't to be found.
UAW organizer Elda Salinas on this big win.
Kelly.
Meanwhile, thousands of our union family are on
now
strike
near side for Minez. Instead,
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Shannon is there for the Broncos.
The chest pass.
Mack Truck at West Rock in New Jersey.
Far side.
And
now
CVR
Perkins
Nitrogen.
approaches.
UAW members are still holding the line.
Gives to Cookland.
As we've said all along, this union is not just a big three.
No. Nope.
Though our industries may be very different, our issues
it's going to be waved off. Offsides.
The flag went up immediately.
Of the working class. These members are using the working class as most powerful
trying
weapon.
to catch Western on their heels will quickly play it ahead. It appeared as in Western Michigan had finally broken through. Not the case, however.
They're also teaching one another.
And now offsides on the other end.
Fighting and winning is contagious.
As Thomas was too far.
The best thing we can do
we'll take a look at the goal that was called back here. The ball pops into the box, is flicked on, and it looks like behind everyone. is Charlie
That's what
Sharp.
our stand-up strike was all
When
about.
the ball's kicked, and he does put it in the net, but
We need to
he was
fight
about
like we never
a
fought
yard
before
offside.
and win like we've never won before. We had doubters, we had naysayers, and we had enemies. But we also had champions. We had leaders, and we had organizers. And I don't mean people like me.
And this is a chance here for Northern
people on
Illinois to
TV or
push
people who wear
into
suits.
Western Michigan's end of the field, at least.
I mean you, the workers.
Left foot from Brand.
The workers who really run
Banker
these companies.
with some force right
The
back
members
the
who
other
really run
way.
this union.
Fisher.
People
Flips it over
fight
his
like their
head.
life depends on it because it does.
Now in the middle
People who
third.
take the word
Brooklyn pops
solidarity
it up,
and make it mean
trying
something.
for Robinson a bit too far.
If you'd have told me 30 years ago or even a year ago that the UAW would be where we are now, I might not have believed you. If you told me we could take on all three of the big three at one time and win more in one contract than we have in decades, I probably wouldn't have believed it. If you told me we would kill wage tiers and end the permanent temp situation that's kept our union divided and weak for years, I
Good
probably
touch
wouldn't
to
have believed that.
Sing. Now
If you told me we'd be
Copeland
reopening
with an angle,
Belvedere
and again well off the mark.
and secure a
Wide
just
right.
transition with a pathway for thousands of electric vehicle and battery jobs under our master agreement. I might not have
NBC-sports.com/gear, the official online store of the
And if you
Missouri
told me
Valley
that the vast
Conference with
majority of
officially
American
licensed
public,
Valley gear from all
from my next
17
door neighbors
NBC championships,
to the
including
President of the
Arch
United
Madness and
States,
Hoops in the
would
Heartland.
stand with
We've
us,
got it all. Shop
I might
shirts,
not have believed you.
hoodies, hats, and more to celebrate your team's title. Visit
7 weeks ago, I asked all of you for one
NBC-sports.com/gear to
thing.
get yours today.
Faith.
Since 1907, the Valley
Not faith
runs
in
deep.
me, not faith in your executive board, but faith in yourselves and faith in each other.
Again, here's Brandt.
I told you if we had faith, we could
Sends
move
one
mountains.
ahead.
And
Off the
UAW
chest
fans,
of
we've
Singh
done
and positioned
exactly
it
that.
perfectly to Suleimani, who will try to
Today I
center
want
it
to go
toward the
through
middle.
one more
Banker
time
with the
exactly what we
shank,
want
and
the
then
big three.
off the right foot of
I wanna talk
Dylan
about
Singh.
the
Didn't
dollars
get it
and
square the
cents
way he
company by
wanted to,
company.
but that's a great
But I
look
also
again for
want to
Dylan
make sure
Singh.
we remember we won
You're
something
going to
else
see
too.
here a play
We won back our
where the ball
dignity as
should have been
auto
cleared
workers.
up and out
won
instead.
back our
It's
pride
a chance
in being
for the
UAW
top
and
scorer
being aware
in the
of this label
league,
on our
Dylan
chest.
Singh, and the top
We
forward
won
in the
back
league.
our strike muscle.
And
And we won back a
you
vision
can sense
to
that
lead our
the
labor movement out of
frustration
40 years in the
that Dylan
desert
Singh is
towards
feeling
an
is
economy that
affecting
works
even
for the
his
working class.
technical proficiency on striking a ball because
Already thousands
he's trying to
of
hit that
non-union
too hard
auto workers
probably.
are
You know what I'm
inspired
thinking?
by
Out
our
of his
victory.
frustration, and that's why he
starting to
slices it a bit.
Yeah,
Already
14
non-union
goals
automakers
this
like
year,
Toyota
leading the nation.
are raising wages and reducing their progression because they know their workers are ready to stand up. So it
Kelly.
goes far beyond the big three.
Drozik and running in
months,
is Coleman.
We've tried to be the most
Letting a
transparent,
bit too
and the most
far.
honest
Brand
UAW
has it,
administration
hurls it
ever.
out towards Singh.
Yeah, but think
Fish
about
out
it.
We want to
midfield.
keep that streak
Maybe Coleman
going,
gets on the end of that. It's a
share what
whole
we won,
new ball
what
game
we
and
didn't,
a whole different
and the
game
major
for Western
takeaways
Michigan.
from this
You know,
historic
right now
round
it looks
of
like
negotiations.
inevitably they'll probably get their goal, but that could change
Vice
it so
President
much.
Bush, Vice President Boyer and
Northern
Browning
Illinois could get on
and
the end of
myself
something like
made
that.
the decision
Good
to
work
bring
by
the tentative
Sharp.
agreements we won to the councils and to the
And that
membership.
keeps it for Western Michigan
because we
and the throw
legitimately
in Copeland
believe
to
that we've squeezed
get it
every
in quickly,
penny
looking
we
for
could get out of these
Sharp.
companies. But as we've
Trying
said
for a
many
quick
times, what
chance,
happens
nothing
next
doing.
is not up to us.
Well, Sharp
It's up
could
to
score
you,
from a bad
the
angle.
membership.
He did that
I
against
don't
Missouri
decide your
State
vote.
in the game that
Executive
ended up
board doesn't
deciding
decide your
the
vote.
regular season
Your local
champion
leadership
of the
doesn't
conference.
decide your vote.
The
You
goal he
decide.
scored against Missouri State was
And
from
as
a
you
really
know,
bad angle, and he followed up his own rebound
Highlighters
and
and white
then
books
shot it
are
in
all
again
available
at
on
a
our
bad angle.
website
So
at uaw.org.
he'll try it from anywhere is my point.
uaw.org/Delanus 2023 and uaw.org/GM 2023. And I
Robinson
know the term highlighter has a bad reputation to some members.
crosses.
Too many
Too
times
high
in the
for
past,
Sharp.
our union leadership
Cookman tried to get it
has
on the
give
other end. Good
membership
NIU
a
with a
hard
chance
sell,
to bring it
hide the
back out.
shortcomings,
Coleman
and overhype the modest victories.
getting in the way of
As
that
you all know by now,
was Perkins.
I'm not afraid to trash a contract. I led an anti-ratification movement in
And now
2007
Shannon
when tears were
pops it up.
But I truly believe these are record contracts
Possession won by
and are
the
a major
Huskies.
victory for our movement. There were
Sent
many
right
in the
back.
media
Good touch
and in the
intended
corporate class
for Suleimani
who were
Benenayou
saying
towards that.
we didn't know what we were doing.
For Sharp,
and they thought we'd never get a deal.
and on
then
the
we got all
ground, kept
three.
alive by the Broncos.
We
Well
weren't
done
going
by
to stop
Fisher.
short of pounding everything we could out of these companies.
Brooklyn leading Perkins.
We
Punched
ran
out
the
of
longest
there.
national
It's going
contract
to be a goal
strike in the
kick,
Big
huh?
Three
Yeah.
Slight
since
deflection, I guess.
Off of Perkins. Good work by Drozic.
Let me say that again.
I don't know. I sense Northern
just
Illinois,
ran the
even though they're
longest
scrambling
Big Three
sometimes,
contract
they're
strike
starting to
in
feel it a little
15
bit that, hey, they got a chance here.
This was the first time in
A little
UAW
bit of
history
confidence coming that,
we
yeah,
did
hey,
all
they're
three
not going to
companies at
necessarily
once.
get buried by 2 or 3
It was
goals.
the first time using our stand-up strike strategy. It was also the first time we got the Big Three to pay for the strike. Let me say that again. As part of our strike settlement, we forced Ford, Stellantis, and GM to pay an extra amount to each member who
Here's
went on
another
strike.
chance.
was
James
laid
leads
off during the
Singh.
strike
Here
on top of
comes
their
Singh.
ratification bonus.
Fires, and that one a
Just
little
like
too
every other
high, a
part
little
of the
too
stand-up
wide.
strike.
Much closer than the
Well,
last
you can see
attempt.
this one he was
It
trying to craft
agreed
this one.
to
That other
suspend the
one he was
strike
trying to
against
power.
That was a blast,
That was
yeah.
just
During
pure
the
power. This one he was
ratification
trying to
vote,
craft
for
it
2
towards that far upper post.
The first was that it helped to pressure the other companies to settle on our terms. The second reason was that we used the strike settlement agreement to get
Again,
the
this is a
companies
group
to pony
that
up and create a fund
the
that we could
seventh
use
in the
to pay our
country in
Big Three
goal
members
differential
who
came
were
in at
laid off
plus
as a
28.
result of the strike, and also pay our Big Three strikers for their time on the picket line. For the first
This is
time in
pretty good
UAW
stuff
history,
here from Northern Illinois.
Big Three had to
Possession
pay us
through
back
midfield.
for striking.
Sharp was held up.
Yeah, Banker's going to get a
That's
yellow
when you
here.
know you've won. So how did we get here?
Pretty
How did we
clean
go
match
from a union
for
on
the most part.
defense
Yeah,
going to war for
the
the working
stats that we
class?
saw, there were only 5 fouls,
And how
I
can we
believe, in the
keep
first
this
half of
winning
play.
streak
So,
going?
yeah, for a
Not just the
conference
Big Three.
semifinal, there have not been a lot of
This
fouls.
is almost hard to believe.
And finally, as he's
I was
done,
sworn into
Charlie
office
Sharp,
only
he
7
can
months ago.
turn in a tight space. He finally had Banker
I made
turn,
a
and
promise
Banker
to
had
all
no
of you when I
choice
was
really but
elected
to
that we
wrap
were
the
going
arms
to do
around
things
him
differently.
and take the yellow card.
From the outset, we decided company unionism is dead in the UAW. We were done playing nice with the companies.
On the turf, Robinson.
And we weren't going to keep
straddling
members
that
in the
near
dark
sideline for Hodgson.
We held our
kept
union's
in
first
bounds.
national town hall over Facebook in
Arima.
June.
There's
And
Robinson.
after that,
now
we started holding
James.
regular Facebook Lives like this one.
Carson Hodgson
We made
gets
videos
tripped
showing
up,
members taking
and there's
action
the whistle.
and talking
Free
honestly
kick in a decent
about the
position
state
now
of the
for
auto
Western.
industry.
Yeah, and you even see
We let
Jalen
members,
Shannon, number
the public,
5, go right up into the mix
politicians,
now for
and the
Western
companies know
Michigan
our
as
issues
another
from day one.
tall target. So you're talking at
weren't
least 4
shy,
guys
and
well
we weren't
over
afraid.
6 foot tall now that would be targets
early
in the
summer,
box for Western Michigan
My
here.
office organized the first ever Big Three contract strategy meeting.
Robinson's had some good balls
Vice
in.
Presidents Browning, Boyer, and
dropped
Booth
yet.
and myself got together with our staff to strategize
The height
across
advantage
all
for sure
three
for Western
companies.
Michigan.
We weren't going to let the Big Three play us against each other.
Singh gets ahead on it.
We also set a very
Too
different
much for
tone
threat.
when we
Great
kicked
work
off
by
bargaining.
Fisher. Centers toward the middle. That
Instead
one
of the
intended for
ceremonial
James, and it
handshake with the
rolls back to
CEOs.
Rochek.
Yeah, I would like to
We
see that,
organized
at
a
least
members'
get
handshake.
to James to see what he
We
could
went
do
to
with
the
it.
plants directly to bring the members
But
into the fight.
Fisher really made something happen
To
there.
show the companies this was a very different round of negotiations.
Broncos press
For
on.
the first time ever,
Robinson
we ran
ahead
a
toward the
contract
middle.
campaign at the Big Three.
Hodgson tries again.
It
Saved
was our union's first
by
time doing
Rochek,
this.
and then cleared
We
out
had a
by the
short amount of time
Huskies.
to
Let's
do
see
it,
if they run out
but it
the
took
other
off
way.
like wildfire.
And good work by Stone
We had
to punch
contract
it right back
update
in.
sign-up
That was a
cards
big
in
time
locals.
save by
Tens
Rochek.
of thousands of members signed up for text and email.
Lonnie on the ground toward the middle finds
We had
Hodgson,
practice
saved
tickets,
again by
rallies,
Rochek.
and local actions.
Remember those saves.
The point of this
Because if this game
was to
goes
show
a
the
certain way
companies
for
that our
Northern
members were
Illinois,
ready to
that
take
will have
action
been the
at a moment's
difference.
notice.
Carson Hodgson's got to be
We
like,
made sure
what do I
everyone
have to
knew the
do?
issues and was fired up and ready
Hey,
to go when the
in
time
these
came.
shots, not only
We got
are they on
results
target, they're hit pretty
because
hard.
we weren't afraid to try new
And they are
things as a
going
union.
into the corners of the net. They're not hit right at
2023
Rochek. He has to
was the
really
first time
throw
the UAW
himself
president has
and
refused to
dive
shake hands
to
with the
his
company
left to make sure
CEOs,
they stay out of the
and
goal.
Instead, shook hands with the members. It was the first time our union ran a contract campaign
My
at the Big Three.
goodness.
the first time we made our demands public.
Rodriguez
Going into
that
bargaining
one
with the Big
deflected,
Three.
and the Huskies will have a
It
throw
was
in
the
at midfield.
first time we updated our members
Sudeth.
directly on the company's proposals throughout negotiations. And it was the first time we went on
I told
strike
you,
at
you
all
always get
three
everything
companies
right. One
at
of your
once.
keys to the game for the Huskies, goalkeeping.
It was our first time using
Yeah,
the
I think we've
stand-up
seen
strike
what I was
strategy.
talking about.
We knew this approach wouldn't come easy. Our members
Razik.
and the public wouldn't understand it right away.
That's going to earn,
that was also
if
its
I'm not
strength.
mistaken, is that the first corner?
You know who else didn't understand it? The Big
In my
Three.
memory, yes.
Yeah.
For decades, Ford, General Motors, and
Because at halftime
Stellantis
they had none.
have whipsawed us
I
against
don't think
one
they've
another.
had one of this half till now.
They pitted plant against plant, community
9 in
against
the first
community,
half for the
country
Broncos.
against country. With the stand-up strike, we gave
Minez
them a
will
taste
take
of
it.
their own medicine. And it turns out they couldn't stomach it. By taking on all
Too
three
short.
at once, we played
Tried
them
the near
against
side
each other
post and
perfectly.
try to send it back in, however.
By
Tried the
always
other
having
end.
another plant ready
Headed
to
by
walk out at a
Thomas.
moment's notice, we backed up our bargaining
And
with
James
an endless
missed
strike
it that
threat.
one. And Northern gets it in
We
quickly.
could go
Back
to
to
GM and
Thomas.
say, hey,
Thomas
Stellantis
fires
just
one
gave
toward
us
the
cost of
middle.
living allowance.
In the box,
Is it
trying
really
to
worth
turn it.
losing
Drops it
Arlington over
off
that?
on the ground, and that one just wide
We
right.
could go to Stellantis and say, hey,
Off the
Ford
foot
just agreed to
of, I believe
write
it was
the strike over plant closure.
Rodriguez, I want to say.
Is it really worth losing
You know,
Sterling Heights
Kevin
Assembly
Kelly
plant
was
over that?
right in there. I mean, if he could have got a toe to it
This
as
strategy was
it
only
went wide of the
possible
goal.
because of you, the
me.
membership.
Here's number 9. He stays right in
had
the middle
faith.
of the net here.
And you were unified.
This ball here, he's
Not
only
every
about a
union
step
can
and a
go to the
quarter
bargaining
away from
table
it.
and say,
Kevin
our
Kelly,
members are
number
ready
9
to walk
in
out
white
with
there.
zero notice, 24 hours
There he
a day,
goes again.
7 days a week.
And there's Kelly
That's how
toward the
powerful our
middle.
solidarity is
And
in
the
the UAW.
Huskies have taken the lead.
We started from a 9% wage offer and ended at 25%.
Zach Thomas positioned perfectly, and after that barrage of Broncos opportunities, it's Northern Illinois that strikes first,
About halfway
and they
through,
find the back of the net, and they
companies
have a
caught on to
one-goal
the
edge.
so-called rules.
Our sport can be a cruel sport because you nailed it. The saves at the other end. How often do you see saves at one end create a goal at the other end? And this is the case. And that's a beautiful ball in there. This is an even nicer
decided
ball,
we needed to
making
move
it
faster, so we changed
really
the rules.
easy. Although there's some pressure there, obviously.
took
For
out Kentucky
Zachariah Thomas. Thomas
We didn't
puts
give
it
them a heads
away,
up. We didn't wait till Friday.
and no chance
And the
at
action of our
all
union
for
fans
Ethan
at
Brandt.
AT&T, Local 862,
And
totally
almost
changed the game.
miraculously,
put one of
and
the
actually
biggest
Brandt got a
money
slight
makers on
touch
the
to that
table.
on the way in,
And it
but
supercharged our
But
bargaining.
miraculously, Western Michigan
Just the threat
trailing
of
in the
taking out a
conference
big truck
semifinal
plant
on their
quickly
home
got
field.
GM and
They're the
Stellantis to
number
get
1
serious,
seed. Northern
things
Illinois
started
just
moving
hung
fast.
tough. Their goalkeeper came up big on
lined them
multiple
all up,
occasions, and now they've got the
And then
lead.
we were ready for the knockout.
That was
room.
Braden Beard.
Again,
Came off the
we
bench
played
on
the
that
companies off of each
beautiful
other.
feed to
And we
Thomas.
used the strike threat
And
just
for
as much
Thomas,
as we used
his
the strike
first
itself.
goal of the season.
On Facebook
Talk about
Live,
timing.
Oh, yeah.
we made it
Yeah,
very
well,
clear that all the
He
truck
found that
plants were
space.
directly
He
on
saw
the table.
that the breakdown was happening on that right
companies were
side
put
of
on
Western
notice.
Michigan's defense. Some really good passing
Either
in
reach
that
a
corner
deal,
by Northern Illinois.
gonna drop your biggest
And,
money
hey,
makers.
if you want glory, you
And then
better
we
be in front of the
escalated that
goal,
to
and
a fever
that's
pitch.
what Thomas did.
On Monday, we took out Sterling Heights Assembly Plant, Stellantis' biggest plant and moneymaker. On Tuesday, we took out Arlington, GM's
So
biggest
this
plant. and
time
their
is going to
biggest
feel
moneymaker.
like an eternity
Ford knew what was going to be
for
coming on
Northern
Wednesday.
Illinois University.
So by Tuesday afternoon, Ford was begging to get us back to
And
the bargaining
for
table and
Western
get a deal
Michigan, it's
done.
going to feel like it's going too fast, right?
We were
It's
getting
so
text messages while
psychological.
in negotiations about how members at the Rouge were
Yeah,
ready to
still
walk
over.
at any moment.
Halfway remaining
By the
in
early
the
hours of
second
Wednesday
half.
morning, we had a tentative agreement at Ford. From the moment we went on strike,
Wow.
the Big
Rocek all the
Three
way up
nearly
to take
doubled
this.
the money on the table. When we went on strike on September 15th, the Big Three had a combined $12 billion in new gains on the table for our
So
union.
Noah James drew the foul there.
By the end of our stand-up strike, that amount had grown to over $23 billion. Here's what that tells me.
Robinson,
Strikes work, and the stand-up strike sure as hell work.
Hodgson to sing.
I want to underline just
Will
how much we got out
incrementally
of these
bring it up.
companies.
Little
These
flip
gains and these agreements taken
to Sharp.
together are worth well over 4 times the value
Tanner
of the gains we got in
Hodgson. Now
2019.
Fisher coming out of nowhere to block
There's
that
more
one.
money in gains in this contract for legacy members than in the entire
the penalty area. That one cleared out by
members.
Beard.
There's more money in gains in this contract for in-progression workers than in the entire 2019 contract for all members. And there's more money in gains in this contract for temp workers.
The Broncos keep it in here.
Than in the entire
let's see if they can
2019 contract for all
Find
members.
something doing and set it back toward midfield for Shannon.
So, Brian, who do you think here is enjoying this match the most at this time?
Which is easily $1 billion more than we've won for current retirees.
It's not the Broncos fans.
In the last 4 contracts
No, I think it
combined.
might be the Missouri State staff and players. I mean, come on, they're watching this knowing that they face the winner of this.
Divide and conquer strategy.
And I always want these teams to get tested, right? Well, they'd love to go the distance.
Right. They want to see they want to see a bruising battle, number one, where both teams are depleted. And I think, obviously, they'd much rather play a lower seed than the number 1 seed on their home field.
Looking at the electric vehicle and battery future. First off, our union does not have our head in the stand about the future.
Right on the chalk, and
we know our industry is
the Huskies
changing.
will just clear it back.
That was actually a pretty good idea. Had the run developed on that far side,
They want to use this transition to electric vehicles as an excuse to drag down our standards. We know there's no reason we have to choose between good jobs and green jobs.
Really good hustle there by
This
Hernandez.
contract is the first big step to a just transition.
Robinson
At all 3 of the big 3,
gets taken down
thousands
and
of
contact made,
jobs
and there's the
under
whistle.
our national agreements. At Ford, we have transfer rights and pathways to bring thousands of jobs under our national agreement at the Marshall Battery Plant and the Tennessee Electric Vehicle
Robinson
Center.
trying to blow right by the right
We've
back.
got over 1,000 battery jobs in Belvedere under our national agreement, under an
And
employee
just a
leasing
little
model.
bit of a
That means existing
contact
Big 3
there on the
members can
slide.
transfer in.
sets
And
up
new
this free
hires into
kick.
these plants will be covered by most of the
Carson
provisions of our
Hodgson,
national
6
agreement.
goals this year.
At GM,
The
we got workers
sophomore.
at Altium Cells.
Good angle on it, but
brought into our
Banker is
national
there
agreement.
first.
Well
The
positioned.
pathway for some of the Lordstown GM members to finally return home.
Hodgson will let that go and give
At
a
both
throw in
Altium
for
and the
Robinson
battery
quickly
plant at
into
Belvedere.
Hodgson.
We'll negotiate additional contract provisions
Shannon,
locally.
quick touch.
We
Landon
have set
Fisher.
a minimum rate of 75% of the Big 3 maximum
With the
rate
right
for
this
new
time,
hires off the
Robinson.
street.
Banker there again first, but Singh
means
looking
by the
to
end of
turn the
this
corner,
agreement,
gives it back to Perkins,
Any new hires
deflected
at the
out,
battery
and
plants
a
will be
corner
making
kick
minimum
forthcoming.
of more than $31 an
I
hour.
wonder what the record is for corner kicks.
I want to be clear on this point.
in the Missouri Valley
We can
Conference
still bargain
tournament
for
game.
higher wages
This is the
locally,
10th.
but the key to
But the
all of
first
this
and the
is getting
second
this work
half
under
for-
our national agreement.
Oh, is it?
Western Michigan,
It's
Singh
going to
gets
take
one
several years for many of these plants to come online.
off his head and
by the
trying
time the Big
valiantly
Three are
to keep
ramping up
it in and
production at
sharp,
these
and he
battery
just couldn't
plants,
quite do it.
We're going to be back at the bargaining table and fighting like
So
hell
again,
to
don't
get
miss
all
the
this
title
work
match
at
of the
the same rate.
2023 MVC Men's Soccer
Until then,
Championship on Saturday,
current members can
November
transfer
11th,
into
with the
jobs
winner
with
receiving
no
the
loss
league's
of pay or
automatic
benefit.
bid to the
And I wanna be
NCAA
clear about
Men's
one other
College
thing.
Cup.
The reason this is
Coverage of the
important
contest begins at
is
1
under
p.m.
our
Eastern
national agreement
on the
because
Valley on
we
ESPN.
couldn't bargain for those things by law. That was the key thing to get done in this round.
How
The next
active is
2 minutes is
Robinson
now we
today?
can bargain for it in the next
Yeah, he
round.
loves to get forward.
Getting everything back
Sharp
to equal.
tries to equalize, and again,
whether
Rochick
we're
is
building
there,
combustion
moving to his
engines,
I
left.
feel like I'm watching an
electric
instant
vehicle
replay.
batteries,
He's got that
all
corner
UAW,
covered. Maybe the
all
Broncos
deserve a
should try the
decent
other
life.
corner.
That's what this contract
He's on
provides.
his game. He needed
Thanks
to
to the
be.
power of our stand-up
Jacob
strike,
Rojak.
we've created a pathway
been the difference, really.
for a just transition where there was no pathway before. Throughout these negotiations, we split the
attacking
opposition
third
by
for
playing them against each other.
Western Michigan.
Because again,
Then
that
when it was
ball was
time to
hit
close the
hard and
deals
it was
on
hit in
core
the corner.
economics,
Those are
we used
not
old
routine
school pattern
saves.
bargaining to full effect.
On the turf,
Across our core
punched out
economic
by the
issues,
Huskies. Thomas gets
maintained the
ahead on
pattern
it,
at all 3
chased down
automakers.
by Hodgson.
All 3
Lays
companies
it
got a
back
25% base
to
increase in
Stone, who
guaranteed
sends
wage
it back
increases to the
forward.
top
No one
rate.
there.
When you compound that
Watch another one, heroic, by Jacob Rochek.
That comes out to about a
That ball is low in the corner, and again, Rochek
with the skilled trades tool allowance.
gets his body all the way over there and gets his fist to the ball.
We also
So Estrada will come back for the Huskies. Arima will get a quick blow.
We represented all three companies. These salaried bargaining unit members have long been treated like second-class citizens in our union.
Stone there first.
But in the
Quick
new
touch for
UAW, we're not
Hodgson.
leaving anybody behind.
Anticipated
For
by
the first time in
Rodriguez.
UAW history,
Out of
we
bounds,
won
it'll
general
go
wage
to
increases for our
Western
members at
Michigan.
Ford, General Motors, and
And
Stellantis.
again on the throw-in.
This contract literally made history for all of our members. The historic
Perkins
economic
looked ahead.
gains in this agreement are not just
Good
life-changing
head
for
ball
our
looking
members,
for Hodgson, but NIU
they're
there first. Now
lifeboats in the
Shannon.
communities we live in. Every dollar in the pocket of an auto worker is a dollar in our local community. It's more money for local businesses, more money to provide
Robinson.
to our families, and more money for our
There's
hometowns.
Singh. They switch defenders
And all three
back to
companies.
Fisher. Fisher chipped
We
ahead
won a 3-year wage progression.
right
Another win we got back
to
from before
NIU, and it's
2009.
cleared out past midfield all the way back to Shannon
This
once
does
again.
two major things for us. One, it brings a whole lot
Stone.
of people way
Good
up the
touch
top pay
all the way
immediately.
down to Perkins.
And even
the
people who
corner
are just
sends it
moving
toward
to
the
the new
middle.
step one are getting
And
a
now
big
with
bump.
it, trying to go is Hodgson, dumps it off Singh,
bottom
and
line
that
is
one's
we're a lot
deflected.
closer to
Banker
equal
saved
pay
the
for
goal, I
equal work
think.
than
I
we were
don't
before.
think that Jacob Rochek
Shorter
would have
wage
gotten to that one.
progression also undoes
Looking
the
for
divide and
Thomas,
conquer the
but
companies
Shannon's
have relied
behind
on.
him.
From
That's
now
the last
on,
line of defense.
everybody in the door
And
will get
Brandt
the top
gives
rate
it
after
back to
3 years,
Robinson.
no matter what. That kind of unity on wages means we can be
Singh
united to
dumps
fight
it
for
off
other
to
issues
Hodgson.
in the future.
Hodgson on the ground. Too sharp.
won back
Lost it.
Kohler.
Got it poked away from behind.
Banker's
We
been
wanted cost of living allowance
on the money
to go
on every
extinct.
defensive play.
Rodriguez
And we
now
knew
up for
it was one of
Davis.
the
That was
many
close to
things
being
we've given
offside,
up
to
that
tell
we
you the
need
Davis
to get
looking
back.
for Thomas, but Shannon
A lot
got a
of our
foot on
members
it.
aren't familiar with how COLA works. We managed to restore the exact pre-2009
Yeah,
formula that was
wisely.
stolen from us.
Wisely, Thomas did not go for that ball. He would have been called offside.
Essentially, they calculate inflation every quarter.
This is the block by Banker
and add
coming up
dollars
because
and
it's
cents
good
amount
approach
into
play, really,
hourly
by
earnings to reflect the
Western
increase in
Michigan,
prices.
especially that. That's a cool pass.
It can never go
Yeah.
negative.
Banker
and it
saves a
adds
goal,
up
in my
over time.
opinion. Rojak, he might argue
Just
with
like
me.
in the 2009
the Northern
formula,
Illinois, the Husky
company
goalkeeper,
takes
might say, oh,
10
I'd have got
cents out of
that.
that calculation.
I'm not
and
so
what's called
sure.
a diversion.
During the replay,
again,
Sharp went down, and
COLA
the
can never go
Huskies were
negative.
whistled for a
It adds
foul.
up over time.
So here's Robinson.
Our conservative estimate says that COLA is going to add $1.78 into every Big Three workers' base
Reaches
wage
the penalty area,
over the life of the
however.
agreement.
Perkins is forced to
And at the end of the
retreat.
contract,
Hodgson
It gets folded
sends it
into the
right
base
back
wage
in, looking
minus
for
5
Sharp,
cents.
who does get a head on it. It goes back, however.
We can always fight
and
to
now a
improve the
one-hopper
COLA
back
formula
to
in the
Fisher,
future.
who plays it
But in this round of
to Hodgson,
negotiations,
and now
it was
Stone.
crucially
Yeah,
important
Estrada
for us
fought hard to win
back
that last header at the
what was
top of
taken
the
from us in
box
the Great Recession.
for the Huskies.
We undid so much
Good
damage
move.
on
Robinson
wage
toward
tiers
the
in
middle,
this
and
contract.
again, Banker is there. With the
We
first
lost
touch to
Sterling
head it
Axel
back
and
out.
Rawsonville onto the production wage rate.
Banker's like a magnet.
At Stellantis,
Blocking shots. He's winning
got
head
Mopar
balls.
in
It
the
seems like
production
everything's
wage.
directed at his
and
part
GM,
of
where
the
we had
penalty
a
area.
lot of problems. We got the GMCH workers, the CCA workers,
Eddie Knight,
the
who we saw
subsystems
come
workers, and
in during the
Brownstown,
first half.
all into the production
Sees
wage
his
rate.
second half
Again,
of
this
action
isn't
now.
just about lifting those workers up. It's about unifying our union. A divided union is a weak union. We can't have dozens of different
Robinson.
pay tiers that keep us fighting among ourselves.
Fisher
We need to be focused on
finding out
fighting
what
corporate
popped up
greed
in the air
at the Big
for
Three
either
and
Robinson or
everywhere else.
Sharp.
Yeah, I think he was looking
And
for
as long
Sharp.
as
yeah.
we're divided by wage, we're weak. You know, we also talk about division with the temp workers.
spectators,
And for years, the
are
Big Three
eerily
abused and
quiet
abused an
here.
army of temp workers.
At Western
Not only
Michigan
does the
Stadium,
company
the
make a
Broncos
Off their low wages and
can't seem to
benefits,
make it click
they
in
also get
front
to
of
divide
the
the workforce and play
Huskies'
games
goal.
with people's lives with little to no consequence. That ends in this agreement. At Ford and GM, we got all the
Good boot.
full-time temps with 90 days converted to in progression.
Run down by Perkins.
At Stellantis,
on the ground ahead.
we got the majority of them
Hodgson
converted.
will
With
keep
the
it
rest
down the
to be
far
made
sideline now,
permanent within
looking
9
for
months of
Sharp. Can he get
ratification.
by Banker?
That's a massive wage increase
Sharp
immediately.
tries to peel
It's a
back and has it
life-changing
taken away by
contract.
Rodriguez.
But we also made sure the companies
And
couldn't
overshoots
do it all over
anyone.
again.
Race to the ball, but Shannon's
We
there
ended
first.
the perma-temp system. Going forward, no one will be a full-time temp for more than 9 months. After 9 months, you get converted automatically.
Robinson.
And those 9 months count towards your
Singh,
three-year
can he get
progression.
there? He can.
So just like anyone else,
And
these
a
winners will
great
be a
move
top
around the
rate after
defender
3
in the near
years.
side post. Singh. And I thought he
We
was going to
also
have a
brought up the
chance for
floors.
Hodgson.
Temps will now make
Hodgson was
$21
perched
an hour
near
across
the edge of the
board,
boxer.
and will have profit sharing and other key
Brooklyn
benefits.
stops on a dime, gives back to Robinson, who's
We
center.
want to
That
teach
one's
the
deflected
companies they
right
can't
back
just
where it
continue
came
to
from.
use and abuse temp workers while undercutting the standards for the
Suddath.
rest of our members.
Robinson with the deep throw in. Suddath gets ahead on it first. There's Cookland back to Robinson. Robinson
Look at
measures it up.
retirement.
Low
We went into
bouncer.
this
Back
round
to
of
Robinson.
negotiations
Sends it
for
right
MT.
back in. And
Robinson's
that
one
one
of the
last
biggest
touch by
and worst
NIU.
trends
Robinson's got to get that one in the air towards the back post where the 6'5" target player is Sharp and the 6'4" target
Who
player
gets a pension,
Singh is there.
retiree health care, and who doesn't. We didn't win on this issue. The fact is, both of these issues are extremely difficult and expensive to fix, primarily because the big three, being so driven by Wall Street,
Cookland did get ahead on it.
refuse to have the
Robinson with
liability on
another
their
chance.
books.
That one low as
But
well.
it's not just the cost. It's the Wall Street
And
influence
Suddath
of
gets
not
ahead on it
taking any
first.
future
Down
obligations
goes
to our
Davis.
members. So already we're looking at 2028 for this issue, and we're thinking
Again,
even
under
bigger.
14 to play.
Either the big three guarantees retirement securities for workers who give their lives to these companies,
We're just hopping on with us,
Or
Zach
an even
Thomas.
bigger player
First
does.
goal of the season. The
The
difference in
federal
this one.
the fight for our future won't end because Wall Street says so. But we also have to recognize we're far from the union we were when we first won these demands. When we
Cookland
first won pensions at GM in 1950,
gets it back.
almost every auto worker in this country was a member of our
Fisher.
union.
Good touch
Still,
to Cookland. They can't
They
seem to
struck
get it
for
out
over
of there.
100 days to secure
That
that.
is some really consistent pressure being
Our
applied in the
union was
corner
gone
there
in
by
wrong
the
direction
Huskies.
for decades.
It's taking
And we're
some time
taking on
for
the hard work of getting
Western
back to our
Michigan
full
to get to
strength.
midfield. Took some seconds
There are
off the
too
clock.
many
Now they do on the
non-union
far
auto workers and
side
too much power
for Stone.
behind the forces of corporate greed for us to win
Perkins.
everything we deserve
There's
in one go.
Singh.
That's why we're
Hodgson
building our
gets there
strike
first,
muscle
but-
to go even further in 2028.
Too much on it.
The big three,
Travels out of
Wall
bounds.
Street, and the federal government are 50
Yeah, it'll
on
be a
notice.
throw for Northern Illinois so that they
When
get
we
a
win
chance
full retirement security,
maybe to work it into the Western Michigan end and kill a little bit more time off the clock.
we got our own house
And
in
to see
order.
which soccer teams
went
will
to
punch
war
their
for
tickets to the
economic
2023
justice, not just to the
NCAA
big
Men's
three,
College Cup. Tune
but
into the
across this
NCAA
industry
selection
and
show on
across this
Monday,
country.
November 13th. Coverage begins at
What
1
we did
p.m.
win in this
Eastern
contract will
on
still change many lives. It
ncaa.com.
will change the playing field for our fight for retirement security. At all three,
So teams that are
we
the
want an increase to
underdogs
the pension
playing away from
multiplier
home,
for legacy or
they get a
traditional
lead
employees
late. They tend to
for the
take
first
on
time in over
a
15 years.
superhuman energy
At all
because they
three,
have so much to fight for.
we won back annual bonuses of $500 for current retirees.
No question about it. See
For the
if
first time
comes
in
on
over
display.
15
Here's
years.
Singh. Stop that to Sharp.
And at all
Here's
three,
Sharp. There's a fire,
we
and it's right
massively
into the
boosted the
hands of
401k
Rochek. That
to a
one he didn't have to
10%
move
company
much for.
contribution, which will more than double
No, he kept his
many
cool,
members'
stayed in
annual
position.
401k contributions over the life
That
of the
was a
contract.
bit more of a routine save.
Yeah, and Rochek
One of the most important
Now with
victories we won in this
19
contract
saves this
was the right
tournament.
to protect our jobs.
fourth most
Not
in
just
tournament
with
history. We
words on
talked
paper.
about
Well, it was
his
11. It was
season.
11 on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But with the strike weapon,
He's got 8
we
today.
now have the right to strike over plant closures. Meaning if they want to close a plant, they'll have to face a strike threat across the entire company. At
Cookland,
Stellantis and GM,
well done.
we also want the right to
Perkins.
strike over product and
Drazik's
investment,
there first.
not just
Knight.
closure.
Clears it out.
That means
Drazik
if they
looking
want
for
to
a
wind
call.
down or
I don't think he's
disinvest
gonna get it.
and definitely idle a plant, they'll face a strike threat across the entire company. We reopened Belvedere. That's something nobody thought was possible.
Perkins,
And
Drozic
it totally reverses
to
the
his
old
feet.
story.
Yeah, those crosses need to be in the air.
The Big Three has closed 65 plants over the last 20 years. And our union was never
bring it
able
to
to
this
reopen
side.
them.
That one also
We
on the
just
ground, but
changed that.
punched out, but it will earn a corner
With
for the
right to
Broncos.
strike over closures, we're making sure they can't just keep closing us down despite the enormous profits we generate.
It looks like Knight
and the
is
incredible
down.
contributions we make to this economy.
Clock stopped at 10:19.
Last of all,
Looks like he wants to go
Stellantis.
off. Yeah.
we want another first for our union.
So Thomas will come
First
back on
employee
for
partner
Knight.
program.
Thomas, the
This
goal
new
scorer.
program will provide Stellantis employees with
Number
the same
7
car lease
in white for the
program
Broncos.
enjoyed
I'm
by
sorry,
other
for
brands.
the Huskies.
Through this program, our
gonna be
members will have
Cookland to take
access
this
to
one.
discounted leases on Stellantis
Liner,
vehicles.
one hopper skipped off the
A
foot
discounted lease
of
not only covers the
Rodriguez.
vehicle, but also plates and registration.
Play it all the way back to
insurance,
Brandt.
and
He's
basic
way out.
maintenance and repairs. And no credit check
Some
is
torque
required.
behind that one.
Best of all,
Banker.
this is a locked-in
Singh keeps it in.
contractual
Sharp
benefit.
dumps it off. Back to Sharp.
Management cannot
Just out
change or
ahead of him,
eliminate
but
this
not cleared
benefit
yet. Robinson in the
unless
box
they change
fires,
or
deflected
eliminate
out,
it
and
for
another
everyone.
corner upcoming for the
Management
Broncos.
Another defensive block. I mean, when you
Or as a
add
result of a
saves to
lawsuit or
defensive
change in
blocks,
federal
now you're really
regulations.
getting up there in numbers.
Obviously, this innovative new benefit at Stellantis
Again, it's Cookland.
lays the groundwork for future
Far
wins at
side
Ford
post
and
popped
GM as
in the
well.
air, and Rodriguez gets it
There's
hit
a
up
lot
by
more in these agreements, of
Hodgson.
course,
That one's
and
still
we're trying
in
like never
play.
before to make sure our members
Cookland
have
near
access
the
to all
corner,
the
pinned
information
up,
they need to make
1v1.
their decision.
Back to his
You can go to
defender, shoots it
UAW.org
right back
to
in.
find the website.
Another corner.
for each of
Another
the three
corner.
companies
This will be
and get all the
number
information.
14 on the afternoon
Read the
for
highlighters
Western Michigan.
and the contract language for yourself. Talk to your coworkers. Talk to your family. As you know,
Again,
I was not going to bring a
Cookland.
deal with membership that I thought was anything less than the best. I wholeheartedly believe we got the best possible deal out of this company.
Finally,
As I mentioned, a lot of people wondered if we'd ever get a deal.
it's Sharp.
They thought we were crazy. They thought we were motivated by personal agendas and ideologies.
Honestly, Charlie Sharp, with a little bit of luck, could have had 2 or 3 goals in the first 15 minutes of this match. It took this long.
And for the most part,
It's a good in-swinging corner. It's all the way to the back post. It's in
We
the
were
air.
laser-focused on getting
Rojek
the best
gets
deal
caught
possible
coming out,
for our
does not
membership.
connect with it. So then it's
But there's one way they were
relatively
right.
easy for Charlie Sharp then to pop it into a partially
This isn't just
empty
about
net.
contract.
And the tide
This isn't just
has
about
probably
us living
turned
around
here, and
ways
the
to do
pressure
battery job.
is really off Western
It's about
Michigan.
a
The pressure
big
now
picture
is
vision.
on the Northern Illinois
UAW isn't
Huskies.
a pro-worker
now
HR
Sharp
department. It's a
As the
movement.
all-time record as the career
We didn't
goal
just
scorer
win back our
leader
wages
for,
and benefits.
for Western Michigan, and talk about
won back
one
our
to do
power.
it on to tie it up here with
We
under
won
10
back
minutes
our
to play.
organization.
That's a big goal, but it was a
We won back
well-executed
our solidarity.
set piece.
Suleimani, and
What
that
we
one's
win in our
wide right.
paychecks is much more than just a dollar amount.
Time to get
What we
greedy
win in
now
these
for the Broncos,
contracts
right?
Is a reflection
unless they
of our
like
strength
overtime.
as a united working
And
class.
penalty kicks.
What we won in these agreements
No,
is
but
a
they
new
have the
muscle.
momentum. There's no question. Because
new
psychologically,
chapter
that's
in
kind
the
of
story of the
devastating. As
UAW.
hard as Northern Illinois has fought
understanding of our
in the
collective
second
power.
half to now be looking at a tie score rather than that
We have
lead
now
that they
taught the
had.
companies not to underestimate it.
Brooklyn whiffs on it.
And we've taught the American public.
Hernandez to
underestimate it.
Thomas. Shannon
We
shields
taught
him away
ourselves
and goes down and
not to
draws the
underestimate
whistle.
our own strength.
I don't know.
We don't
That's a
just
pretty
win
big guy
when
to
we
go
get a
down that
raise.
easily, but he was
We
pushed.
win when
Gotta
working
make sure
people
you see it.
everywhere
He was making sure he
start to
got the call.
understand our shared interest and our shared fight.
I got a
We
feeling it
win
takes a
when
little more
workers
force
at
to shove
Toyota,
him down than
Subaru,
just
Honda,
what we saw
Hyundai,
there.
and other companies see what we've achieved and get ready to stand up for themselves.
Banker.
win
Here's it out to
When
our
the
press
corporate
box.
media, the billionaire class, and their political allies
Trying to catch NIU
start
on
taking
their
us
heels.
seriously as a force to be
Robinson,
reckoned with.
a liner again. Banker's there
I'm
first.
honored to serve as your
Fisher,
president,
touch to Cookland.
and you, the members, have shown
Peels
the
back.
world that you can move
Gives it to
mountains.
Singh.
And
Singh
we,
approaches
The mighty
to
united
Robinson on the
UAW
ground, deflected
have a
out, and
very,
that's a
very
corner.
bright
Yep,
future.
Banker. again, getting a toe to it. Really some strong defending overall by the Huskies.
Questions if I can, so please bear with me because this thing blows
and
up.
a little bit short.
Literally had hundreds of comments, and
Fisher gets it back,
just trying to
headed right back out. Finally touches the turf. Shannon looking where he wants to go with it. It's Stone.
That's a really good ball.
In a place where we were
for Hodgson, and it is a good ball because he earns the corner.
And, it's very, very proud of what the membership did.
The 16th now of the afternoon to just one for the Huskies.
Spread all over this country. There's a lot of workers at GM and Ford and other companies have been.
James will come back in, who was very active earlier on, and it'll be Cookland along.
These workers back home.
Cookland went off.
Oh, Cookland went off, so Suleimani's going to take it.
I see.
Here it comes, and similar spot to where the goal was scored off the header, but this time a different result.
Almost identical to that back post area.
But it was last touch by NIU.
Said they cannot make plants go critical within 6 months of the contract expiration.
We'll try it on the other side. Singh this time. Too high.
Singh got up.
I see comments about me not being on time.
Way up, but he had Banker kind of clawing at him, which makes it tougher to direct the header on target.
As efficiently as we can.
In-swinger is hung up pretty high.
A lot. I'm in Chicago right now.
Yeah, both Banker and Estrada made it tough for Dylan Singh to really do with the header what he wanted to do.
Tomorrow, so we have a lot going on. We've got rollouts going on over the country right now.
Grazik lets it go, and it'll be a throw-in for the Huskies.
So, it's on me to do better. So.
Robinson read that well.
We deserve a 40-hour work week.
Keeps it in.
Fought for, I agree 100%.
Sharp
I think we deserve
will bring it up himself toward the middle. Sharp will let one fly. Banker gets a foot on it. It finds Fisher, who tries to deaden it.
We were able to
popped in the air, and
AWS schedules that don't work for
and NIU
not all of
at
them,
it first, and now Drazik gets it away, but Fisher's there, spins out of a little bit of trouble and goes down.
Just a moment ago was a great example of that run by Robinson on the overlap, drawing three players, allowing Sharp to cut inside. It's just textbook of how off-the-ball running can create space for a teammate.
We start laying the groundwork for the next round. The fight never stops.
Clock still running.
And a glance through here.
Rodriguez there first. Miss hits it.
See here, working people don't just have power.
Moving toward the corner.
We're a movement. And I'll tell you.
Perkins had a deflection. Sharp. Robinson fakes, shoots, and is too high.
I say this over and over when I speak to people. If
he thought he was going to be the hero there.
The pandemic taught us anything,
because he is left-footed. He lined it up.
A great lesson.
But missed the target.
It showed the power that workers have in this world. Not just
he's no stranger to the heroics either. He made the ESPN Top 10 last year at a buzzer-beating, game-winning goal, 2-1 win over Wisconsin. So he's got a flair for the three theatrics.
Not bad for a left back.
They refuse to leave
Jonathan Robinson, but yeah, he's got a good left foot.
Poverty wages.
And some wheels.
Put their life on the line.
James toward the middle. Singh deflected and gobbled up by Rochek.
Singh cannot believe
and that's a great lesson
that one didn't go in.
And then a yellow is given.
Has to lead that fight, but working class people in this
I don't know,
world,
someone on Western Michigan.
No matter where you work, if you have a union or not.
This is a quality cross because it bends away from the keeper and hooks towards the back post. Singh gets way up. But you know what? Give credit to the goalkeeper of the Huskies again, Jacob Rochek, because he stays on his line. He doesn't get mixed up out in the scramble out front. He's there to make a save.
All the wealth in the world has been concentrated
in position when the ball does finally come through.
26 billionaires.
Sharp wanted a whistle. He's not going to get it. Midfield throw-in for Sutton into Rodriguez. Turns it over to Robinson. Back to Robinson on the give and go. Robinson
union leaders
trying to turn Rodriguez.
To fight back on that. To bring people together,
actually did
to
travel
organize
past
like
the chalk and throw in for Western Michigan
trend.
under 3 to play.
We have to leave it in a better position than we found it.
Heads it perfectly done. On the ground, bent towards Perkins. Perkins approaches, sends it toward the middle. A dangerous cross, but nobody home.
Really a good ball by Perkins from that right side. And Dylan Singh was just slightly behind his run.
I see comments about we want our time. Look, you know, we're trying. Look, we've tried to address so many issues. I mean, getting all these
Kelly.
GMCH workers,
That is it taken
workers,
away. Hodgins, sharp.
subsistence workers.
Leaves it for Singh.
Some of that
Singh with a
stuff
little
that
bit of space.
The subsistence workers
Back to Robinson. Up and
you know,
cleared out.
again,
Corner.
Another
we
corner.
weren't able to get everything we wanted,
So,
but it doesn't stop.
one of the
fight.
keys
It
to the
doesn't
game
stop
that
us
I
from trying to get those
put
things in the
on
future.
before the match in an opening segment is attacking wingbacks, and you're seeing it now.
They get ahead on it. Singh's got it, and it's punched out, punched back in. Still
I'm trying
not
to look through
cleared.
here. I see, you know, thank
Still
yous
in the
and-
box. Shannon to Robinson. Robinson approaches with the right, and another corner
I
upcoming
appreciate everybody's time.
for
Appreciate
Western
y'all
Michigan.
getting
It's
on
been
here
all
tonight.
Broncos the last 10 minutes or so.
And like I said, we got a lot of
I believe that was Estrada with the defensive header to keep that ball
A lot
out.
of players
Trying
have
to
voted
end this
already on the
now.
Contract. Some are still set to vote. And,
Sharp.
you know, we leave this up to the membership.
And
now,
it's somehow saved by that back line. Singh misses wide left.
Cleared off the line.
And,
Talk about
I
drama.
look forward to what the
Corner
future
kick
holds for
after
us. We got
corner
a lot
kick
of-
after
a lot of
corner
things
kick.
to
Balls
work
cleared
on.
off the line.
We're gonna
Balls
organize
blocked
like
by the
hell.
defenders. The
We literally
goalkeepers
have
come up big
hundreds of
over and over
workers
again.
every day and not even
Watch
playing
this.
attention.
That's a good save there, but
They
watch
see a
this.
better path
Three
now.
defenders on the
I've said
line.
this over and
Keep it
over.
out.
Bargaining and
So
organizing.
that's some good camera work, too, to be able to see not only
People
the
want to be a
save
part of that. When you bargain
by
record
Rocek,
setting,
but the three defenders
and
scrambling
you set
back to
the
cover
standard
that other
again,
side of the net and
people
clear
want to
the
be a
ball
part
off
of
the
that.
line.
My grandparents' generation.
That's called
lived that,
team
the American
defense.
dream.
No
They came from
rush by
poverty.
Rocek here.
They were able to move north and get jobs in UAW factories, and it changed their lives. And that's the goal.
It'll
That's
go
what
to
we have
Northern.
be as a union. It's what we have to be as organized labor. all over
Wow,
this
it's a
country
thin
and all over
line
this world.
there
We have to get back to setting
for the
standards
Huskies hanging
and
on here
leading
to
the
try to
fight.
force
And we're
the
on right
overtime.
path. So I appreciate all your time.
See if
and
Northern can
we're
get
gonna
one
keep
last
updating you as
chance
things
here.
progress.
They got space
And,
ahead.
just stay in the fight.
Sudeth
Thank you.
up in the air. That's going to be way too far.
This one's going to go. He's going to send it for a ride.
Here's Brandt. There is that ride. Suleimani to Sharp.
8,
Sharp
7, 6.
misplays it a little too far.
4,
Robinson was
3,
thinking about another buzzer
2,
beater up
1.
ahead. But that's how regulation is going to come to an end. Overtime upcoming. We'll have 2 10-minute periods for you. It's no golden goal, no sudden death. We'll play into its entirety.